Hey, what's up, everybody? Mike Lindsley back with you. I am here at Rosie's Corner. Man, this place is awesome. The official pizza shop of the ML Sports Platter. Jason and Jody and the gang doing just an unbelievable job. I'm about ready to get a fish sandwich and mac and cheese on Fish Friday. I'll post it later on Instagram. You got to look at it. Pizza wings here last night, salad as well. This place is rocking and rolling. Gift cards are always available. And don't forget, for all of your March Madness basketball coming up, come to Rosie's. Pizza, wings, pasta. They've got themed days during the week, like I mentioned. Today, Fish Friday. They got pork earlier in the week. They have chicken and biscuits. They've got an array of desserts. They have an array of awesome refreshments in the cooler. They've got mac and potato salad. They serve hot and cold subs. Place is amazing. Top-notch customer service. Quality food, A+. Get here to Rosie's Corner in Brewerton, the official pizza shop of the ML Sports Platter. You're in and around Central New York. This place is an absolute must. I want to talk a little bit about John Elway taking a shot on Joe Flacco. I think it's look, I was surprised, right, when this went down because I didn't think Denver was going to want to take on that kind of money, and I thought they'd maybe go into the draft, maybe pick one or even two quarterbacks. But, I was surprised from that standpoint that they took a chance on him. I was surprised, also from not just from the money standpoint, but the quality of player Flacco's been. Remember, he got benched this past year. I know he had the hip issue, and Lamar Jackson went in there. But by the same token, when Flacco came back, he didn't win the start back, right? He didn't. So, but the other factor that I was about to mention was when you look at the support system of the Denver Broncos, they don't exactly have, Julian Edelman and a great, like 2-3 great running backs and an amazing offensive line. They don't have a lot of pieces there. They don't have a lot of help for Joe Flacco. He's going to probably struggle. I just listened to John Middlecoff on his 3 and Out podcast, and he talked at length about this, and he's right in the sense that Denver's probably going to be a 5-win team, 6-win team. But here's the key to this video. Here's the whole point of why I'm doing this video. The point is, while I was surprised, while Flacco hasn't been a really good quarterback, while the roster around him isn't that great, a lot of money and all the rest, why not? Why not take a chance on Joe Flacco? It's not like you're getting a guy and you've got to commit to him for 15 or 5 to 10 years. You're committing to him for, next year and maybe the year after that. Why not take a chance on him? And this stuff about John Elway not being able to find, he was one of the great quarterbacks of all time. He's a top 5 quarterback of all time, but man, he just can't find anybody. He can't find anybody to play the position. Hold your horses. While I realize Trevor Siemian, bust, Paxton Lynch, bust, Case Keenum, wrong move, who knows about Flacco. Anybody remember the guy who took a chance on Peyton Manning? Remember that executive? All the general managers, all the owners out there did take a chance on him. I recall 95% or more people, Peter King, Adam Schefter, Ian Rappaport, Adam Shine, anybody across the board, Sal Paolantonio, take your pick of NFL people, right? Peyton Manning, done. Peyton Manning never going to recover from this neck and these neck surgeries. Never going to recover. John Elway takes a chance on him. They win a Super Bowl. Now, was Peyton Manning amazing in that year? No, he wasn't. But I recall that Peyton Manning was one of those influential guys in the locker room, and they all wanted to win around him, right? He still played well enough to get the team into the playoffs. Really good seed. Played well enough in the postseason to get it done. And people don't realize that, 50% of Peyton Manning is better than 85, 90, 100% from half the quarterbacks in the league. There's a big factor with Manning, like Brady, like Jeter, like Magic Johnson, Bird, Jordan, Wayne Gretzky, Mark Messier, Steve Yzerman, like all those guys. You don't want to answer to those, LeBron James. You don't want to answer to those guys in the locker room when you lose. They didn't want to answer to Peyton Manning. They wanted to get him that second ring so he could go out in terms of the twilight of his career. Anybody remember that? Well, John Elway was the guy who took a chance on Peyton Manning. Nobody else did. GMs, owners, they just kind of scoffed at it. Nah, I'm good. It went backpedaled a little bit on it. While basically every NFL insider was saying that Peyton Manning was done, and it worked out in Denver. Now, where does Denver go from here? They're going to take their chances on Flacco. Probably got to trade Case Keenum. Maybe you can get something for him. That's a lot of money, obviously, as well. So a team's got to take a peek at the cap hit. But where Denver needs to go is top-heavy offensive line and weapons on the offensive side in the draft. That defense is really, really good. That's probably that in the home field advantage at Mile High, whatever the hell it's called, Invesco Field, whatever, at Mile High. The home field and the defense for Denver are really the two things that make this team really have it, to have a fighting chance. The offense is deplorable, and now you add in a guy in Joe Flacco who, hasn't found water if he was laying in a boat the last couple of years. It's a huge risk. There's no question. There's a lot of money attached to him, and the roster around him isn't that good. However, why not? Why not take a chance on him? What happens if Joe Flacco goes to Denver and he rediscovers those deep throws? Remember when Baltimore went into Denver and beat Denver a few years back with Joe Flacco during the Super Bowl run? Remember those deep balls that he threw to the to the right side and down the middle over the safeties and corners? Remember those throws? Denver is hoping to get those back. Now, again, who's going to catch the football? Great question. But Joe Flacco is a guy who maybe there's still a little bit of magic left in that arm. Maybe he gets into a new situation in Denver. He's got a new coach. Vic Fangio is going to let his offensive coordinator just go run, the offense. Maybe there's a new relationship that can be built there with Joe Flacco and Denver. Maybe that's the case. I don't know. I mean, but my big thing above everything else, the money, not a lot of help around him. Yeah, it's Flacco. Yeah, he lost his starting job. But at the same time, why not? Nothing else has worked. And you know what you have to do in the NFL? You got to keep trying. You got to keep trying to throw, at the bullseye until you hit it. And Denver is doing that. So for that reason, I applaud John Elway. I'm just surprised that they went the direction of Flacco because of the money as opposed to just going out and drafting, maybe trying something on the low end, maybe even trying to go out and trade for anybody. I will tell you, Mike Freeman of Bleacher Report cracks me up on Twitter so many times because he is still on board with how can you not give Colin Kaepernick a shot? I remember Freeman's tweet, by the way, of, Kareem Hunt gets another job, but I'm paraphrasing, but, how about that? Colin Kaepernick, sitting and protesting, but looks like the NFL is going to let their domestic violence guys come back. And he's made a lot of comments about teams not taking a chance on Colin Kaepernick as well. Maybe Denver should be one of those teams to bring in Colin Kaepernick and have a competition between him and Joe Flacco. They're not going to do it. I don't see any team doing it right now. I don't think they want the controversy. I don't think they want the extra media and, fishbowl around Kaepernick every single day. But, again, I say why not on the Joe Flacco experience? You got to keep swinging. You got to keep trying the quarterback position. And, again, let us not forget that it wasn't too long ago that John Elway, over every other GM, over every other ownership group, took a chance on Peyton Manning when everybody under the sun just about, 95, 98%, maybe more, maybe 99.2%, whatever the rate would be, if we really went back in time and started to dive into said he's done. Now, they all said Peyton Manning was done. John Elway said, screw it, I'm going to take him. Gave him a deal. They go and win a Super Bowl. So, you know what? Take a shot on Flacco. Again, I would go out and get a quarterback maybe late in the fourth or fifth round just because, and you start to have a competition in Denver. Mike Lindsley with you, 9 minutes with me on IGTV, YouTube, and Facebook. Thanks a lot for watching. Hit me on Twitter at Mike L Sports. Download and subscribe to my podcast, the ML Sports Platter, on Apple Podcasts, Google Podcasts, and Spotify. And, of course, when you download and subscribe, you can leave feedback and a 5-star review as well. Big thanks to Rosie's Corner for having me out. I'm going to go down that fish sandwich and mac and cheese. Make sure you get here to Rosie's Corner, the official pizza shop of the ML Sports Platter. As I always tell you, enjoy the games.